Welcome back to the special program on the referendum. We're now going to present to you Cecil Murgatroyd, the Speaker for the No Coalition. Hello, Cecil.
Hello.
Welcome. Now, you heard all those arguments from Andrew.
Yeah.
Are you ready to fire back?
Yes,
You
certainly
are.
A lot of errors and untruths and downright lies from the case, as you come to expect from Republicans.
All right.
And I'd like to answer them straight away now. The Queen may have been sexist, but she's changed it now, and now the line of succession has been altered, and it would have been years ago if a female had been born first. The monarchy may have been sectarian, but the next king, King Charles, has said he's going to be defender of all faiths and not just one. That's the beauty of the monarchy. We're flexible. Things just happen real quick, and that's not what we've got here. We're lucky that we're plugged into that system so that we don't have these problems.
Okay, well, let me just start off by saying, what does the referendum question mean for the monarchists, basically?
Well, it's an attempt by the ARM, that's the Australian Republican millionaires, to take over the joint. Because, I don't know what's wrong with these people who've got so much money. I don't mind people having money, but, they want to take over. They want to take away our Queen, and I don't know, maybe they've got so much they don't know what to spend it on, so they want to be president. So whenever you see an ARM person, you know they want to be president. They're all going to have a turn, and the system that they've got for us, we won't be able to stop them because they're canny enough not to let you and me vote for them. Right. So if we vote yes for this republic, we'll have no say really in who's going to be president, and it'll probably be some truck driving Lynn Fox, some manufacturer of widgets, the sort of people you really hate to be president, you know?
All right, but look, let me ask you this. Why shouldn't we change it? You've heard the arguments. We're a mature nation. We're a multicultural society.
Sure
we have a number of different faiths. Don't we? And we have the Indigenous Australians that we have to think about as well. Why don't we?
Because we're doing really well as we are.
Australians that we have to think about as well. Why don't we?
Because we're doing really well as we are. Now, I don't know if nations mature like ordinary people. Australia is as mature, or I think it's older than nearly every other democracy in the world. And look, Canada is a bit older and more mature than us, and they have chosen to retain the constitutional monarchy, as we will too.
Why should we have, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, of course, why should we have a foreigner as she's been quoted, as a head of state?
We've got foreigners who live in Australia. 5 million people are foreign born. They won't be able to be president either if this referendum goes through. I don't know why these people dislike the Queen so much. They dislike old ladies. They dislike foreigners. I mean, what's wrong with them? They want to kick out the mother, cut the apron strings. They've got all these trays of a spoiled little brat. And most of them are middle-aged jerks, Well,
look, let me ask you another thing. We have a lot of people who are not necessarily loyal to the Queen, but don't like the current model being offered. Now, would you say that you're arguing, are you strictly monarchist, or is it just the model that you don't like?
Well, I'm a monarchist, but I can certainly sympathise with the people who hate this republic being proposed. It stinks. I mean, the people get no say at all. Who's going to be president? They're just going to have to accept whoever wants to be president, whoever's got the most money, because you pay off the Prime Minister, you pay off the Leader of the Opposition, and you go, and you and me won't be able to stop them. They'll be all over us.
Right. So you don't think, even by taking that step, that later on maybe that might change with people's opinions and the voting behaviours, that, look, we want to take the next step now?
Politicians, being what they are, they're very reluctant to give up any power. They'll be getting that money from the contenders, so they're not going to let us have a look in.
But I mean, we're talking about the people that we put in as politicians to Parliament at the moment. They're the obvious candidates, aren't they? Because they're the ones that are vying for positions in government. Who else would we vote for? As a president, I mean. They would be the first to be contenders.
It's pretty depressing, isn't it?
Well,
if I can just stick with what we've got, a Governor-General, someone pretty much aloof from politics. He's got sort of an objective point of view, often a pretty skilled lawyer, not too up himself. We don't have El Presidente in Australia because we're Australian. That's not the way we do things. What Andrew said before about the Governor-General not being recognised as the head of state, that's all nonsense. Every country that is on the diplomatic game has the book, the rules. They know the Australia's Governor-General is accepted as a full head of state, and that is the way Australia is. People have to make exceptions for Australia, as they make for 10 other constitutional monarchies, countries that are among the most stable in the world, just like ours. So it really shits me that we get all these lies from these millionaires who want to take over. There's nothing wrong with our Governor-General, nothing wrong with the Queen. She's a good figurehead, and our Governor-General should stay the way he is, because our policy, our no campaign's based on evidence. We don't have airy-fairy theories of pie in the sky. We have evidence that our system works, and the Republicans don't have any evidence that their system will. In fact, quite a few eminent jurists and lawyers and experts say it won't.
Okay. Okay, well let me ask you then about the Indigenous Australians. Now they feel perhaps that they haven't been fairly represented in having the Queen as a figurehead, because up until now it's been a British colony.
This question has nothing to do with Indigenous Australians. They have their problems which will not be addressed one bit by changing to a republic. We had Indigenous Australian representatives talking to the Queen last week, and this is absolutely irrelevant. We have a few problems in Australia, don't get me wrong, we're not perfect, but not one of these problems will be changed by changing to a republic. We're just wasting all this time and energy mucking around with this system that works perfectly well, and it does not one thing to change any of the very real problems we've got.
All right. Now, it's been said that the head of state